Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got 3 replays in the Western Alliance Era 2 medium tank, the Centurion 9. Now this is the entry era tank in the tech tree for the Challenger 2 line. And the Challenger 2 is a tank that I will get at some point, who knows. Because I'm at the Chieftain Mark 5 now as I record this video, something like that. But the Centurion 9 that you're seeing in front of you was a tank I detested. Absolutely detested playing this thing. I hated every second of it. It was horrible. So much so that I hate 3 marked it so I don't ever have to play it again. Yep. I did that because I just did not enjoy this tank whatsoever. One single bit. That's because the gun trolled me relentlessly. It just wasn't very nice. The armor... What armor? What armor? The mobility is pretty decent. The DPM is meh, right? It just doesn't ever feel that good. Especially when you are stock, this tank was pretty nasty. And when you were fully upgraded, it was like, yeah, I've got a gun that's a bit better, to be honest. And the gun is far better when you are fully upgraded than it is when you're stock. Because, to be honest, so far, this was definitely one of the worst stock ones that I've played too, in general, when I've been going through the lines in Cold War. A lot of the stock grinds haven't actually been anywhere near as bad as some of the ones you get in World War II. And it's like you're just playing ever so slightly worse. This one, the stock gun, is absolutely atrocious. If you've not got the top engine, your mobility is poo, and the armor on the tank is just not good. You go hull down, you go, I'm not gonna bounce. I'm gonna bounce stuff with my really good turret. No, it doesn't. Obviously, you still want to go hull down because it still limits the ability of the enemy to see a lot of your tank, right? But on the whole, no, I just did not enjoy this tank. It just wasn't fun. Like, I enjoyed this far less than I did the M60, because you've got to bear in mind that I haven't got much experience with a lot of the entry era tanks. I've played this, the M60, and the MX-30B. I liked the MX-30B because the heat rounds sucked, absolutely sucked, but I had a 20mm autocannon for which I could absolutely shred people with, and light tanks, especially when the YOLO Swaggins ATGM tanks came in, I could just shred them. And I could rack up lots of damage by doing that and using the main cannon. The heat worked, but it wasn't effective, is the way to put it with the MX-30B in Era 2. And then you've got the M60, which felt like it actually, to be honest, in all regards, felt like a slightly better version of this tank. It played better. It still wasn't the greatest tank in the universe. It still wasn't fun. It's still one of those tanks that you just have to get past to get to the better stuff. And the Centurion 9 definitely epitomises that. It's just you have to get past it to get to the better stuff. But so far, this is, out of the ones I've played entry era-wise, this is definitely bottom of the list. Because I really hated playing it. It really was just not very fun. And this game that you're seeing in front of you is basically the average game I had in the tank. I switched to full APCR because I gave up. I gave up with the gun and its trollness. And in fact, this first game is with the top gun, I believe, with the 460 Alpha. I do have Hesh loaded as well because the Hesh is really nice. Again, if you get the ability to use high pen HE in Era 2, there's a lot of targets you can pen with it. You should. And yeah, this game definitely epitomises the average game that I had in the tank generally as I was grinding through it, and the suffering that I endured. Is the way I'll put it. And the gun just decided, no, I don't fancy it. And the fact that once people started to come over, I mean, thanks for proving my point that you've got no armor, Centurion 9, and bouncing that leopard round, you know. But yeah, once people decided to come after you, the Centurion 9 just went, oh, I'm now being pushed by tanks, I'm dead. That's just the way it felt for me. Unfortunately, we didn't pen that Hesh shell into the side of that Leopard 183. We should switch back to AP here, but we penned that Hesh round for 538, and I'm thinking, well, I'm dead. So we just go in, we ram the Leopard, and it ended up killing both of us, so I'll take it. And finish that game with 4.4k damage. That was generally the more average game I had in the Centurion 9. It just wasn't the funnest of experience. It's like, if you can keep it in a flanked position where you can keep firing the gun and not getting shot at, great times. But, and even then, the gun would still say, lol, no. But I just did not enjoy this tank whatsoever, which is why I included that average replay, because I wanted to say that was my general experience of playing the tank. I did have some really good games in it, though, and they are, well, I've got at least 2 in this replay you're going to see here and the next one, but I do have also 2 other really good replays in the tank that were on the way to getting the 3rd mark in it, that you'll see at a later date, no doubt. So, in terms of a crew for the Centurion 9, I run a very similar crew to what I run on the Chieftain 120. I run Born Leader, Rapid Reload, Sixth Sense, Steady Aim, Snapshot, Run and Gun, Trap Mechanic, Clutch Braking, and Rapid Aim. Rapid Aim to make the Truck Traverse as good as humanly possible, to just keep keep my ability to just snap the gun in on target. I run the Clutch Braking to just try and help it feel a little bit more mobile, try and keep, so I can swivel to get on target to face stuff like the ACGM, YOLO Swaggins lights that like to come in, all the gun handling perks, because it says this gun's supposed to be accurate. It never feels it, ever. The gun just decides, you know what, I'm going to miss that, because lol. And it's really irritating. So I try and make it as good as humanly possible with that. And then the other perks are, the other three are what you're always going to take in general. So in terms of equipment on the Centurion 9, I also run Advanced Loader to make my DPM as good as possible, Vertical Stabilizers to make the gun as good as possible, again, because it's just, the gun is frustrating and I want to make it better, and the Advanced Reload to be able to use the ammo swapper, because the Hesh, like I say, the Hesh is very, very good, and I want to make use of it where I can. Now, this first replay you're seeing is me completely stock. But, well, I say completely stock. I think I actually have the top engine, but that is it. So with the top engine, you do go at 64 kilometers an hour, but with the stock engine, you only went at 48, which was part of the reason why it was so horrendously horrible to play. So the top engine was really nice to have for the tank. But with the stock gun, you only have 300 pen on the standard APCR and 398 pen on the premium APCR with 210 hash pen, and you've only got 390 alpha, which is horrid. And 390 alpha in Era 2 just is not very nice. And add to that the reload being 5.7 for that 390 alpha, when there's lots of tanks that are hitting that sort of reload, maybe even better for like in the 500s or the 470s, 460s. Yeah, it's not a very nice gun to use stock. The penetration is not good enough, which is why when I came towards the end of the stock grind in terms of this gun, I started loading full APCR, because 300 pen is just not enough in Era 2 for a lot of the tanks, and you need that near 400 pen. If you run out of APCR and you have to face 4211s, good luck to you with 300 pen. With 400 pen, it's still a good luck to you, but there's more hope in doing it. And again, with this stock gun, you really want to try and maximise the Hesh, because that can maximise your DPM, and you can use that 210 pen quite effectively against a lot of squishy targets. So this first game, like I say, is basically completely stock except for the engine, and we have managed to amass 5.7k damage with 1500 assistance and do 5 kills, which is really nice when we were pretty much completely stock. Finished with the epic victory, 5 kills, 5.7k damage, like I say, 1500 damage. Finished with the ace tanker, 1569 base XP. A really good game for the tank while it was stock. For an entry era 2, that is a really nice game, because most of the entry era 2s, actually, to be honest, most of the entry to be honest, for entry era 1s, there are actually some pretty decent, like the M46A1 is actually a pretty decent tank for an entry era tank, and you can do a good amount of damage with that tank. But for the entry era 2s, a lot of them, most of them in fact, are just complete throwaways. Once you've got through the entry era, you just go, nope, goodbye, never playing you again. And same with entry era 3s as well. You just basically play those, you feel like a watered down version of the mid and top era tank, and go, right, now I've completed the grind with you, I'm never playing you ever again. And that's that. And that's the way I feel with the Centurion 9. I'm never going to play it again, which is why I basically hate 3-marked it, because it was like, I hate you, get out of my life! And then we just 3-marked it, got rid of it, and never play it. Because that's what I do with the Centurion 9. Because I see these things, I see other people playing the Centurion 9, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to make you suffer like I suffered with my Centurion 9. Get out of my game. You know, that's pretty much what we do to it. Because the Centurion 9 is like, it's been pure pain. Also, trying to shoot the helicopter. Shell goes right through. Where's my explosion physics, Wargaming? Come on, I want to blow up the helicopter. Could at least make that helicopter blow up if you hit it with a shell, right? That'd have been cool animation. But anyway, this game we are fully upgraded. And with the fully upgraded gun that you get on the Centurion 9, you have 398 penetration on the standard APCR and 443 penetration on the premium APCR. Well, APFS DS is what the Centurion 9 gets, with 210 pen on the Hesh. So what I decided was, screw it, I'm loading full 443 pen, because this has been absolutely pure pain and suffering. I've hated every second of it, so why would I hate myself even more and use rounds that just feel inadequate half the time against a lot of the tanks in Era 2. So we load the 443 penetration APFS-DS rounds, and then to make life easier as well on that front, for the advanced reload, for the ammo swapper, so that we can actually keep switching to the Hesh here and there. Also, it means we can take more Hesh rounds, which, like I say, are an asset for the tank. So you have 210 pen on the Hesh rounds on this top gun, but 570 damage, which is really, really nice. And like I say, if you abuse this against Leopards and lower plates of Conquerors, T-62s, Centurion 9s again, the Mobats as well sometimes in the lower plate. There are so many tanks you can pen with 210 pen, if you aim it right, that you can maximise, again, the amount of damage that you are slinging into people with these Hesh rounds. So this last game that you're seeing on this map, which is Mannheim, we have come to this little position here at D6, and we are basically, again, hull down. And yeah, I did say you have no turret armour, and you might be going, well, if you've got no turret armour, why are you going hull down so that they can only shoot your turret? Well, that's because if I just drove up and out in front of them, I would be giving them easy shots into my hull, which is just an easier pen as my turret. So we're giving the enemy team a small target to hit. And as you can see, we're managing to keep poking up and slam shots into people. We managed to get a shot in to shut down the M103A2. This T-72 ends up shooting us in the side of the turret, though. We're down to 1,300 hit points, but we're just trying to keep snapping the shots in where we can. And we get another shot in straight through the T-72 upper plate there, the Ural. And we can actually go through his turret front if we're not careful. A bit of poor aim there, plus RNG, means we didn't get the shot in to shut down that T-72. And we're up to 5.1k damage with 306 assistance. The Leopard 2AV is not looking at us. We try and get a shot in to shut him down. And as you can see, that was my hesitation with this gun. Because I should have just shot there. I should have just shot and tried to get the shot in to kill that 2AV. But we had to wait for it to aim in so that we could make sure that that shot was going to hit the Centurion, the Leopard 2AV, sorry. But because I hesitated, because this gun lets me down so bloody often, we ended up firing too late and we didn't get the kill into that 2AV. Now it's 10-6. This game is starting to snowball a little bit, and we need to try and race our teammates to try and get there to get some more damage, because that's what we want to do. We know where a lot of the 6 enemy tanks that are left are. They are around the JK line, around 789. So we're going to try and get there to get the shots in. We do spot this Centurion 9, though, in the open for us to get a shot out on top of that ridge. We get one shot slammed into him, and we get the second shot in to shut down the Centurion 9. Now there's a 30B that was crossing the open there, but if we had just been a little bit more to the left, we might have a shot over the bridge. But also the M60 is going. And the really troll gun that I said has been horrible for me. It doesn't hit shots a lot of the time. Just ends up hitting that shot on the move. Thank you, game, for proving me wrong yet again. But we do get a shot in to shut down the No, we didn't shut down the T-72, because I was about to say we were about to shut him down. Brain farted a little bit there. But we got a nice shot into the T-72. We're up to 6.7k damage. There's a little light tank moving across the open, and we shoot at him on the move and only do track damage. But we're going to ignore that RDF for now. Try and get a shot into the M60. Once again, we hit a really slim shot on the M60. Thanks, gun, for proving me wrong yet again. God damn you. And we're up to 7.2k damage with that nice little shot into that M60. We know where the... Well, okay. We don't know where the RDF has gone. We know where the RDF was going, but it's a light tank. It's an absolute pain, and he's run off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to limit my ability... Well, limit the area of effect that this RDF could have got to. And in fact, smoke's been popped, as you've seen there, on the bridge. So that makes me think, okay, the RDF is somewhere around here. This is why, for this exact situation, by the way, is why we take Sixth Sense. We get spotted, which means that this RDF, which we are never going to spot ourselves unless we get really, really close to him, was somewhere within our line of sight. It's like, okay, we were close there. Where has he gone? Is he in the river, or was he on our left as he run across the bridge? So we're going to try and just keep running down this 4-5 line, because you can see there's like a little bit of a sweep going on here. We've got the guys going down the 1 line, the guys going down the 3 line. They will spot him if he's down there. We've got guys going up the 7, 8, 9 line, so if he goes that way, we're going to know he's there. So I'm the one that's sweeping this 4 line. And there we go. We find the RDF. It's like, hello, Mr. RDF. We get a shot into his side. He ends up hitting us on the move, and I decide, okay, I'm going to try and get as many shots into him as possible. I don't mind if he gets the odd shot into me. And unfortunately, that line of thinking ends up meaning he damages our armor rack. He's still trying to get shots into us though, so we're using this concrete pillar as cover. We do get another shot into the back end of the RDF now, and because we are armor racked, it means that we're not going to get another shot into this RDF. One of our teammates probably will. And that was the other thing with the Centurion 9. You've just seen the armor rack go. The armor rack likes to go on the Centurion 9 a lot. And there's another thing that is really annoying about the tank. If they get shot through the drive wheel or through the side of the tank where the turret is, the armor rack goes a lot too. And we finished the game with 3 kills, 8.6k damage, 306 assistance, the ace tanker, the high caliber, the Confederate, 1595 base XP. Again, another really nice game for the Centurion 9. And yeah, it's a tank, like I say, that I've had 2. There's going to be another video coming up at some point in the future on that tank, because I did have 2 other very nice games in it. But I absolutely hated playing this thing. I think it's absolutely woeful, and it is a tank that you're just going to have to suffer through to get to the next set of tanks. So as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.
A great success!